Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dangerously Athletic. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but five. I just fucked up my fingers. This is the fifth episode, man. Shout out every single one of you guys for showing the insane support that you guys have been, man. We are going to continue this. It is only going to get better and better and better, and we appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
As we say every freaking episode, and Mr. Mogul has this down to a T, so I'll let him take over. Why should people sub?
Bro, listen. If you subscribe, that is 20 grams of protein. I lied. If you like, comment, subscribe, and share 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 20 grams of protein. Get your protein intake in, guys. That's like a whole scoop for free. Just under.
Free.
For free. Free 99.
And this transitions into our topic of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a spicy one. Grab your popcorn. Get your protein shakes at the ready.
Yeah.
We do not. Well, I don't know if I should say we.
Let's talk about it, bro.
Anyways, let's start it off, guys. Today's topic is the body positivity movement. Mr. Mogul, I'm going to let you drop some bombs on this. Why don't you let them know exactly what it is?
To be completely honest, I don't even know exactly what it is. But I'm gonna try to like paraphrase, which is I guess a movement preaching for people to just be comfortable with how they are in whatever state that is. We can look this up. Like,
No, I think it's good for us to have a definition that we subscribe to because regardless, it is something that's happening.
But let's have our definition, which is what I just said.
Yeah.
People being comfortable in whatever physical condition. I don't want to say condition, but whatever shape they're in, physical shape. But let's look this up on the computer.
Yeah. I also want to also say something because I mean I am a believer in body positivity in the sense of a different way than most people go about, but it's good to have a fixed definition. So let's look at that before we continue here. Yeah, it's pretty up there. Okay.
Wait, what does it say?
So this is Wikipedia, but this is the definition that we're going to go off of. Body positivity is a social movement that promotes a positive view of all bodies, regardless of size, shape, skin tone, gender, and physical abilities. If I don't know how to pronounce that word, man. Proponents focus on the appreciation. I didn't want to sound silly on camera, man. Listen, I had an idea of how
considering
it was.
how much this guy reads, bro.
Okay, listen, I didn't want to sound silly, but proponents focus on the appreciation of the functionality and health of the human body instead of its physiological appearance. Okay, interesting.
That's actually a different definition than what I guess we were,
okay, but
we were thinking.
I think it's important, guys, that like any image that I'm seeing here of the body positivity movement is obesity. Now, before we even get into this, right, and I guess we'll pop this onto the screen so you guys can see exactly what we're seeing. But we could even go to images real quick because I think this will give us a good understanding because, yeah, okay. Well, one of the first things that I'm seeing here from this specific image, which, again, we're going to share, which one of these is in shape? Because if we're speaking body positivity, like, why don't we have someone that's in shape? I mean, this kind of seems like you're shaming the people that are in shape. Am I wrong? Because, like, B is not in shape. O is not in shape. That's not in shape. That's not in shape. I guess you could say that's in shape to an extent. Again, women are a little different than men. That's not in shape. That's not in shape. And that's not in shape. So and again, I'm not just looking at if they're shape or not. Where's the one that works out? Because body positivity, why does it just show obese women and women that aren't necessarily healthy in terms of their body fat percentage?
Bro, I'm not. We have to cut this one because I'm not gonna. I think. I'm trying to collect my thoughts right here. So I think like. It's unrealistic for everybody to have aspirations of being like Chris Bumstead or Ronnie Coleman or Kai Green, all these guys who are like pro bodybuilders, or even looking like Victoria's Secret models and things of that nature. I think like the push to be like that is very unhealthy. Um, where my head is at and what I value is people taking care of themselves and being healthy, right? Um, and obviously not everybody's gonna have the drive to be in the gym 5 days a week. If everybody was in the gym 5 days a week, I'm not gonna lie, I would actually probably hate that because
Mm-hmm.
then I would never be able to use the bench or the squat rack. But I don't know, like based off Google's definition, which is prioritizing the health and functionality of your body rather than the physical appearance. I do subscribe to that idea. Everybody should try their best to be functional. Everybody should be able to try their best to walk up their stairs every day, not be a couch potato. Everybody should try to actually be healthy, meaning your heart is able to handle the weight that it has on your body. I'm not gonna push and say everybody needs to be in the gym like all the time and needs to strive to have a six pack because I'm gonna be honest, sometimes it's just not feasible for everybody. But you should strive to take care of yourself and not have unhealthy habits and try to like manipulate yourself into thinking that your unhealthy habits are okay because I should just love myself the way I am. You should always love yourself regardless of whatever physical shape you're in, but you should also love yourself enough to want to live the best life you possibly can.
I think this is a good spot to interject quick
Yeah,
with
go ahead.
one thing that you said. The best self love that you can show is working on yourself. In
Yeah,
essence,
working on yourself, working out is self love. And it's funny because I was actually in the car and I was thinking about this because I've said this on previous episodes. And I'm sure there's some people out there that are thinking like, bro, like how does me putting myself through pain and suffering in the gym equate to self love? And honestly, like love is love is not instant gratification. Love is delaying satisfaction for a better tomorrow. And the perfect analogy I can use is between a parent and a child. A parent who loves their child is not going to give their child everything that they ask for. If a kid could have it, I'm sure they eat candy and play video games all day. And a parent that allows their kid to do that, I'm not gonna lie, has to reevaluate their parenting methods. But a parent who loves their kid is gonna tell their kid to eat their vegetables, is going to tell their kid to do their homework, is gonna tell their kid, hey, maybe go play outside with your friends because the entire focus is on the greater good and sometimes being the villain in that current moment so that you can look towards the future and so you can look back in the future and say like I'm very glad I did that. And I think working out in the gym is a prime example of that. I hate instant gratification. I'm not a fan of it. I think instant gratification is what leads to a lot of unhealthy habits in people and wanting to feel so good in this moment and kind of numb certain bad feelings. But like, bro, like c'est la vie.
c'est la vie.
Like c'est la vie. Like life is full of trauma. Life is full of problems, and sometimes the best thing you can do is hit those problems head on and try to make yourself better, so that when they come back around, you're able to deal with it, and those problems don't hurt as much as before, rather than shoving things under the rug and acting like they're not there, right? So that's my view on instant gratification. Just be healthy, man. Like
Yeah.
that's honestly how I feel about things. Just be healthy.
This really ties in though. Instant gratification is the reason why people are fat. Is I want sweets. I want that burger, even though I know I shouldn't. I'm gonna go get it. But before I go on my tangent, I want to make sure that I have some kind of lines set. All right. Number one, the body positivity movement. Right now, there's subjective to the person. I think body positivity for me is taking care of my body and realizing that I've been blessed with this temple of a body and that it is my job to take care of it. And also, the body positivity movement that I see online and that I kind of understand is being overweight is acceptable. Okay? Now, what is overweight? Now, we're going to just go off of the standard definition of what not being overweight is, and that is a body fat percentage for a man is 10 to 22%, and a woman is 20 to 32%. Okay?
That is the overall average. That's
The
what people
average,
that
the
is yeah.
satisfactory for good health.
Yeah.
Okay. So, based off of those lines, guys, now people that are above that do not want to experience shaming and stuff. Now, we will talk about that in a second, little more than a second, but I want to go on this first, right? Listen, if you're fat, you have a problem. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you want to become healthy and live a long, luxurious life, you need to address that problem. And I am not going to sit here and tell you that it is okay to be fat when it is not. I'm not going to shame you. I'm not going to call you a disgrace to humanity. But I'm also not going to sit there and say it's okay. And that is my conception of what this is. And I think it's portrayed that way. I mean, I wouldn't have this conception if I didn't see that. Listen, guys, I'm going to read off some of the issues that being obese can have, okay? This is just on mental health alone: depression, anxiety, low self esteem, negative self talk, body dissatisfaction, disorders eating, and eating disorders. I don't know why it said both of those.
Yo, real talk.
Why does it say that?
I was thinking
Disordered eating.
Disordered eating
I guess
slash eating
I guess it's
disorders.
not that bad. It's just kind of like not actually having an eating disorder, but like
What is disordered eating? Meaning like you have unhealthy eating patterns?
probably something like that. I think that's
Patterns?
what it would be. But listen, that's mental health problems, and that is what I guess body positivity tries to address in terms of the negative self talk and stuff like that. And listen, I don't believe in negative self talk to be a good thing, but definitely not saying that your situation is okay, because there is a cause for that, and just to ignore the cause is an issue. But this is the problems that these people don't take into consideration, right? Mechanical health, obstruction, sleep amnesia. These words are pretty crazy, man, but there's a lot of shit, right?
Obstructive sleep apnea.
Gastroesophageal reflux disease,
Gastroesophageal reflux disease.
arthritis,
Yeah.
osteoarthritis.
Plantar
Anyways, let's look at the metabolic health, okay? Type 2 diabetes, hypertension, elevated cholesterol, gout, fatty liver disease, infertility, cancer. There's so many things. Your physical capabilities are hindered, your ability to climb up a stairs, your ability to take care of yourself, even your fucking cost of food increases when you are fat. Now, guys, listen, I'm not here to shame you, but I am here to call you out on your bullshit. If you're fat, you have a choice. And you have the choice to become healthy. Now, there are thyroid diseases or stuff like that, and I can understand that there are circumstances. But, guys, having an effort to get better versus not having an effort are two different things. Okay? Even though these people might have these issues, what can you do? And that's the question you need to ask yourself. Now, again, this whole movement in my mind is about praising that. And actually, what it's actually transitioned into, because body positivity in reality should be for everyone. People that are in shape, people that are on steroids, people that are obese, people that are overweight, because there is a difference. Obesity and overweight are different. Both are bad for you regardless. Obesity is definitely worse. Why are we not having body positivity for people in shape? I actually feel like there is a light, and this isn't me trying to call for, look at me, pity me, but there is a bit of a bad light on people that are in shape nowadays. And it has become a bit of a problem because honestly, man, like you shouldn't shame people who work on themselves to become better. You really shouldn't. And that's just how it goes. Like if you're going to sit there and complain about people in good shape and perhaps compare yourself and think, oh, look at this guy's full of himself. Well, or her, she's full of herself. Well, guess what? It took hard work. It took confidence. And it took delayed gratification, ladies and gentlemen.
I think Chris touched on a lot of interesting and like good topics. For me, like personally, the way I see it, I want to read the. Can we read the definition again one more time? So let's pull up the definition of body positivity.
So again, I'll read it off again. Now there's obviously different. Oh wait, that's not it. There's obviously different conceptions of it, guys, and I really do want to emphasize that the way that I'm interpreting the body positivity movement is people idolizing being fat and saying that being fat is okay. without understanding the underlying issues of it. So again, body positivity is a social movement that provides a positive view of all bodies, regardless of size, shape, skin tone, gender, and physical abilities. Proponents focus on the appreciation of the functionality and health of the human body instead of its physiological appearance.
All right, perfect. I'm gonna jump in right here because there's certain things that I heard that I agree with, and other parts that I personally do not.
Break it down.
So one thing that I really agree with is the overall acceptance of bodies regardless of skin. I don't even need to go into that. That's kind of wasting my time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
I mean, you
one
got a
thing,
white guy and a black guy. It says enough. We continue. We continue.
yeah, but yeah, one thing they said that I really agree with is a greater focus on the functionality and health of the body rather than the physical appearance. I agree with that 100%. What I don't agree with, which I kind of want to pick apart, was something that they said. I think they said, I'm gonna read it one more time. Yeah.
Size, shape, skin tone.
Yeah, body positivity is a social movement that promotes a positive view of all bodies, regardless of size, shape, skin tone, gender, and physical abilities. Okay, so I agree with everything there except for the physical abilities part. I think that there is a standard that a person who's quote unquote healthy should be able to accomplish. I'm not going to sit here and like break down what that standard is, but we should not be promoting people who are physically incapable of completing certain natural tasks and tasks that should be considered like standard, like for example walking up a flight of stairs, or maybe, I don't know, playing with their kids in the park, the ability to lift like, I don't know, 20-30 pounds like over your head. I don't think we should be glorifying people who are unable to do that unless they literally have a physical disability and a physical incapability. I think if you're blessed enough to have a fully functioning body, you should want to take care of that body and respect it enough to be able to give it the ability to do natural things. Like I'm saying, I want to emphasize this is for people who do not have any sort of physical incapabilities, mental incapabilities, disabilities, anything of that nature. If you are quote unquote healthy, meaning like you have a fully functional body, nothing that holds you back, and the only thing that keeps you from doing certain things are your habits, meaning your physical habits and your dietary habits. I don't subscribe to glorifying or accepting that. I don't think that's good for, well, it's not good for the individual. It's funny because I was listening to a podcast. I was listening to the Modern Wisdom podcast, and they had Dr. Mike Israetel on there. And he explained two sides to living a long and comfortable life, right? And there's two pillars to focus on. One is longevity, and one he described as like morbidity. I'm not going to use that term. I'm going to basically just summarize it as how comfortable your life is. So he explained that people who obviously work out often build a strong foundation at a younger age, meaning like while you're still in like young adulthood and adolescence, things of that nature, and have those healthy habits, live a more comfortable life as time goes on. And it makes sense. If you don't use it, you lose it. You lift weights, you make those muscles stronger, which means by the time you're 70, you're probably still going to be able to walk around without support. But if you don't use those weights, muscles get weaker, bones start to decay, everything of that nature, and now you're kind of walking around in a wheelchair. At the same time, though, you also can overwork yourself, and just as much as we're talking about this body positivity movement, there can also be an unhealthy relationship with working out. And Chris talked about this behind the scenes, which is where people overwork and they overexert themselves, and that in itself is also not healthy. I don't know the science behind this, but there also are synergies with people who have extreme workout regimens and extreme workout routines, and as a result, they croak a little bit early. Life is about balance, and that's balancing your workout routines, your eating habits,
In your personal life.
and your personal life, so that you're at a point where you are healthy and you are happy. If everybody's body is different, everybody's genetics are different, it's a lot easier for some people to be at 10% body fat than it is for others. But like giving up and just saying, bro, you know what, like it is what it is, I'm gonna just be obese because it's hard to not be.
Honestly, though, like, life is about growing, learning new things, and looking jacked. No, I'm kidding. It's not all about that, but life is about learning, getting your opinion challenged, and growing. And I'll be honest, guys, like, from the start of this episode, I had a misconstrued conception of what body positivity really was. After,
Can I interrupt you right there, bro?
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I really admire like your ability to like kind of like digest like new information and like honestly like openly like admit to like changes or different perspectives. Like I think that's a really like noble, like mature thing to do.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I really do.
100%.
I do. Honestly, it's not always been like that, and that's something that takes time to work on, guys. Which is, of course, not being fixed in your ways and like understanding. I don't know everything, man. You know what I mean? Like, someone could sit here and say something to me, and if it's credible, right? If it's challenging, it's good, right? It's a good thing, right?
Thanks.
And so back to what I was saying is the body positivity movement, from my understanding prior to this, was accepting all bodies regardless of them being fat as like kind of healthiness. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like a baseline. Like it's okay to be like that. But body positivity in terms of the way that it is read here, which
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
reread it, but like size, shape, skin tone, gender, and physical abilities. Minus the physical abilities, as you said, I accept all that. All bodies come in different shapes, genetics, all that sort of stuff come into play. Thyroid cancer or thyroid, not thyroid cancer, but thyroid problems. Well, we can't laugh about
No,
that.
I'm not laughing at
No, I
cancer.
got it.
I'm
Just
not laughing at cancer.
He's
I'm
laughing
not-
at me fucking fucking up my words, asshole. But no, like all these things are absolutely factors. But I just do
Facts.
want to emphasize, guys, that in terms of the actual like problem that I find is obesity. I just anything that really idolizes it isn't okay, right? Because again, it's not healthy. It's not good. I read off all the concerns that it has, but
Yeah.
some people won't be jacked. And there's also a flip side to this, which we do need to talk about, which is steroids, right? As much as we preach body positivity, there is going too much, guys, right? Whether it's getting below 10%, right? That's not good enough for you, right? Your body needs fat. That's
Yeah.
why the 10 to 22% is the ideal, right? You're getting below that if you're competing, sure. Talking about steroids is something that we will talk about in a whole other video because that is a tangent that we can go on
That is
forever.
100. We can definitely go on that forever. And one thing I want to actually say is I'm gonna give you guys the perfect analogy of your body. Your body is like a car, and fat is the gas it takes to run that car, right? So when you drive your car and your car is almost on empty, you stop at the gas station and you fill up your tank, right? That's how a healthy body should be. You always have a little bit of gas in the tank, and that gas is fat. And what that gas is there for is excess energy in case your body like needs it. You don't have food to eat, you don't have nutrients. It feeds on that fat and it keeps pushing forward. What an overweight body looks like is you go to the gas station. This is actually perfect. You go to the gas station, you find out gas is now 80 cents a liter. So you get excited, all right? You fill up your car is full. You pull out one of those, what are they called? Mason cans? Mason? The red car.
Mason car. Or
Yeah, whatever they're called. You take
Jerry
that.
can.
I don't know what it's called.
Jerry can.
Jerry, Mason, Connor.
Shout out GTA
Clark,
for that. Jerry can.
whatever it's called. You take those, you fill that up, you put it in your car, all right? And then now every time you drive past the gas station, you fill up another mason jar, you fill up another gas tank, and you put that in your car. So now you have a full tank of gas, and you have those extra mason like jars, whatever, in
Jerry cans.
Jerry cans. You have those extra jerry cans in your car, and rather than actually treating your car how it should be and leaving the space for people to actually be in there, you just fill it up with extra gas and now it's a hindrance, and it's not a real benefit because you're just thinking like, oh, if there's gas is available, I should be getting gas. That is exactly how your body operates, but instead of gas, it's fat. Somebody who is quote unquote obese is a person who has excess fat in them, which is like a car that has excess gas. Bro, just fill up your gas when you need gas. Eat when you're hungry. And on the flip side, somebody who is maybe at that like 4 or 5% body fat level is somebody who's basically running on empty.
Yeah.
Like the car has no excess. The car has no gas to even fuel themselves. So there's two sides. There's the extreme quote unquote healthy person, the person who's extremely in shape, and then there's the person who is extremely out of shape. And like we preach all the time, bro, the goal is it's balance, man.
I also want to interject
balance.
quick though,
Yeah, what's
because
up?
honestly, both of us are overweight.
We are?
We are.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We are. We
because
are.
because our hearts, right, your heart has to work harder with more mass because of the skin and all that has to produce more blood, right? It has to produce more blood for your body. And when you're over your threshold, which I think for us at 5'10", 5'11", it's like 170, 180.
I have no idea what it is.
So our hearts do work harder, which necessarily is a little extreme, guys. Realistically, man, if you really want to be the healthiest as possible, that's very difficult to do. And I'll be honest, guys, to have balance in life, that's pretty well impossible. Right? You can work towards it, and you know what? That's a beautiful thing too, because you don't want to just obtain something. It's in the pursuit of something that you should enjoy and that you will find value in it, right? It's the same thing. Getting in shape is hard. It's a hard process. That's why it has value, and it has value in your health as well. And of course, with nowadays the abundance of food, it's a little harder to stay out of or stay fit, really, right? It's a lot easier to get fat, and you go to a gas station, you get a bag of chips, right? Pop, right? But even on the flip side with steroids, guys, like and you know what? It's actually funny because steroids is it's almost like they're neglecting body positivity, because I actually think steroids is like an extreme to the where like you're looking at body positivity and you're not comfortable with yourself, right? And you're so uncomfortable with who
it's
you
like
are.
extreme
It
insecurity.
really,
Well, it depends. Like there's people who take steroids for performance reasons, meaning
Yeah.
like you go on stage is literally part of your job.
or your sports,
Or your sport.
or you have a career.
Or
in
you have a career.
athletes.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that makes sense. But people who do it for optics, it's like I don't know. Like I don't know the science behind the side effects of steroids. We can definitely have another episode where we pull that up.
We will. That's going to be
Yeah.
a specific episode
That's
about
gonna be
it. But on the
a specific
baseline, continue.
Yeah, on the baseline, I definitely do think that general use of steroids without you being like a professional bodybuilder, without you being a power lifter, an athlete, anything of that nature, where it actually like supports your career, I honestly think it stems from a little bit of insecurity and your need to kind of reach like literally unnatural levels of success.
It's definitely a mental thing.
Yeah,
There's more. There's
definitely
no. There's
a
nothing
mental
about
thing.
it. It's
Definitely a mental thing. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about that in a whole other episode. But I do want to say this again. The perfect analogy of your body. Your body is like a car, and excess fat is like unnecessary jars, mason jars, jerry cans, whatever they're called, of gas in your car.
Absolutely.
Nobody does that. Nobody drives around with excess jars of gas in their car. So treat your body the same way. And, let's not move around with extreme excess, amounts of fat. So
on either way, no
on either
extreme
side.
fat and no extreme steroids. But I also want to just conclude, guys. Again, my mind's changed about body positivity, and I can say that with my full foot forward. The definition that we have read off is something that I subscribe to an extent, other than the physical abilities. I have to say that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't need to go in depth about that. You've touched on that perfectly.
Thanks.
However, being obese is not good. You need to look at that. You can't be happy about that. You need to understand it's unhealthy. And taking steroids, you need to look at what is your underlying cause for
I
it.
heard it makes your penis small.
I heard that too. And
Yeah.
losing hair.
You lose hair. And you also lactate That's what
Yeah, whoa.
I heard you lactate,
Whoa,
bro. You lactate like men, like in their nipples, like they start. I heard it. Like I don't know if it's like I said, we're gonna
look
have a
at
whole
it. This is
episode.
gonna be a
We're
good
gonna look this up.
episode.
This is me just talking right now.
Yeah.
This is what I've been told to
This is
scare
hearsay.
me away from steroids. But yeah,
Absolutely. And you know what? Again, this is a whole other topic, which is
Yeah.
why you guys should hit that freaking sub button, not only for the protein, not only for these videos coming up, but also because
do it for yourself.
do it for yourself. That's
Do it for
absolutely
yourself.
right. And also, one thing we haven't said, we're going to up it to 25 grams of protein, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
Yeah, we're going to get big because subscribe, comment, share, like, and absolutely slam that post notification bell because, guys, you do not want to miss the steroid video. I myself, as a fitness influencer, have a lot to say about that because I am in the spotlight. The mental plays all the time, guys. But you got to hit that sub button if you want to see it. Mr. Mogul,
Yes, sir.
dangerous man over here.
Mr. Dangerous himself.
We're going to have to hear your story as to why you will never do steroids.
Hey, I never said I would never do steroids. I'm not gonna lie. If I wake up one day and there's steroids with no side effects that will make me look absolutely shredded and still be healthy, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Turkestone or turkesterone.
I don't know.
That's
what
listen.
that
That's a
is.
whole other. It's a root. We're good. Listen, guys, hit the fucking sub button, hit the follow button on those socials, and be ready for this episode.
Let's
That's
go.
it, man.
Steroids. Listen, as always, every single one of you that can hear my voice, stay dangerous.
You elevate, the second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like